Alright, I'm not quite sure what to make of this particular news article, but apparently social media can give you post-traumatic stress disorder. Or so a recent study has said. It's saying online video, well, the moment I read this, it's the first thing I thought of was people who would go on Tumblr and then claim that they've got PTSD from people abusing them. This isn't really related to that sort of thing. It's actually related to seeing videos online. So the example that they use of late is stuff that like ISIS would put up. For instance, that the Jordanian pilot.
Yeah, I saw that. Oh.
Yeah, well, it's things like that, like the horrible, gruesome stuff that they do. Watching those sorts of videos online through social media and that they've... the report is, it's only just been released, it hasn't been peer-reviewed, and it's not exactly definitive, but they are suggesting it's... Because in the trial, they surveyed 189 people about their reactions to a range of events, and the head researcher, Dr. Pam Ramsden, said that she found more than a fifth of respondents scored high on clinical measures of PTSD from seeing pictures on social media, even though they weren't there to experience the events firsthand. And obviously they didn't diagnose anyone with PTSD because it was a study, you can't really do that, and it hasn't been peer-reviewed. But they were saying that the results are fairly clear that if a particular person scores high on the scale used in the study, came into a GP's office, they would be diagnosed with PTSD. Because they show the same symptoms as a soldier coming back from Afghanistan or Iraq would have.
Well, I mean, they say that's not just, PTSD isn't just a war thing. When people see
car crashes.
Yeah, exactly. So if you saw an execution in person or you saw an execution in a video, there's not a crazy amount of stuff separating those two events in a person's brain. Yeah. You know what I mean? You witnessed what you witnessed, so there's some validity to it.
Oh, it sounds reasonable, and I can understand that if you watch enough of those videos, if you watch a horror movie or something like that, I don't know about the rest of you, but for me, if I watch something that's particularly terrifying, I won't sleep properly for a couple of days. Obviously, different order of magnitude. So I can certainly see how seeing these sorts of things would have an effect on you, but it's interesting that they've now done an actual study on it. As I said, it's not exactly accepted yet, but it is a start on a very interesting area, saying that social media can... Well, seeing these sorts of things on social media, you don't necessarily have to see it on Facebook or Tumblr or Twitter or anything like that. But it's just interesting that it's possible you can get PTSD from these sorts of things.
Yeah, well, I think it's interesting that their study is a bit clickbaity. You know what I mean?
It's a news article.
The news article then, because then it's not social media that's causing these effects. It's videos or events and things that have happened. Like that article makes me think of, as we all thought of initially, Tumblrinas being angry at things and getting yelled at on Twitter and thinking that they've got PTSD, like that. What was her name? Melody Hensley, was that her name? The one Callan was talking about.
The triggered lady, right?
The triggered lady, yeah. She's the one who literally said she had PTSD. That's what I thought the article was about. So
Likewise,
that's
what I
thought
as well. It's a very poorly titled because it's called "Can Social Media Cause PTSD?" Yet it doesn't actually really refer to social media, because you wouldn't consider YouTube to be social media.
Well, I suppose you would, but you wouldn't consider the media inside YouTube to be social media. It's like saying roads cause car crashes. It's like, no, the things that are on the roads cause the car crashes.
But beyond the crappy title, it's a relatively short article that I read, and it's got some interesting points in it, so it'd be interesting to see if they do any more research onto it, and if it becomes a more sort of accepted idea.
Well, on that note, you were saying, John, that you'd actually seen one of those ISIS videos.
Yeah.
What about you other guys? Have you seen anything like real, not fiction, that's been terrifying or anything?
No, not the ISIS level stuff. No way.
No, I avoid those sorts of things.
It wasn't terrifying. It was just
it's horrifying.
It was affecting. Seeing a man being burned alive or a man decapitated. It's affecting. And I forgot about it a day later, but for like a day, I was like, ugh.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen those videos. I have seen, you recall when that Lindt chocolate hold-up in Sydney occurred with the Martin Place siege, as they call it. I happened to be browsing the wonderful world of 4chan just as it was happening. And of course, some cluey user immediately found the YouTube videos that he posted up with the hostage demands and all that. And they got taken down quick smart. And the thing that freaked me out wasn't the videos in themselves. What I got freaked out over was seeing the videos get taken down, because I thought, and obviously I'm not a professional, hostage handler or anything, negotiator, but I saw the videos go down and went, oh shit, he's going to see those videos have gone down and kill everyone. So that's the bit that scared me, not watching the videos themselves. John, I think it was you that later surmised that he probably didn't see that they went down. He might have still seen something that said the videos were still up.
Yeah, they got in contact with Google, Sydney.
Yeah, horrible, but quite exciting.
Like a shadow ban on Reddit sort of thing. Yeah, it's funny, right? Like stuff like that video of the Jordanian pilot and all that. Like I've been like when my office had a gas explosion when I lived in Malaysia, and everyone thought it was an actual explosion and it destroyed two whole floors. Being close to something like that, or even being close to the Martin Place siege, or like your sister and I, we were both a block away. Didn't affect me anywhere near how the just watching that video. You know what I mean? Like a real event didn't affect me as much as watching a video. So I think there is certainly something to this, Vinny. Can affect you.
Yeah.
Do you have anything going on, Harry?
Oh man, so much Counter-Strike. What day of the week is it?
Counter-Strike Day.
Although, speaking of day of the week, you may notice this podcast is coming out a bit late because someone forgot it was Monday.
Yeah, John.
Yeah. Let's talk about the internet status of Mona Vale, and why is it that you can never do the podcast when you're there?
It's not
Are they really that far out in the sticks?
Yes, they are, but it's not the internet. It's that I can't record the type of podcast we record when I'm in Mona Vale, because the type of people who are here do not appreciate the type of words that I say. However, I am here in Mona Vale tonight and recording, but that's because those people are not here. That's sufficiently vague, I think.
Yeah. Oh man, I almost called your father today, John, because you know how he works for Westfield. I was just feeling way too freaking lazy to park in the car park, and there was this construction site next to the Hornsby Westfield, and I was like, screw it, I'm in a company ute with a flashy light and all that. I'll just park there.
Oh my god, Harry.
And
that's not how it works.
Yeah, I know. And then they freaking closed the construction yard gate because they're all, I don't know, all off on union strike or whatever the heck construction workers do in the middle of the day.
Unions don't really exist anymore in Australia.
Well, for some reason. So I was like, oh shit, am I going to have to pull some strings or something? Anyway, I just looked really...
Do you know who my friend's father is?
Yeah. But no, I just looked like I was really busy, and I threw on the fluoro vest, make it look like I was doing something official with the ute, and they're just like, oh yeah, out you go.
That's funny. It's like the thing to look busy is you just look frustrated and walk around fast. Like,
you do the George Costanza thing.
George Costanza, you hold a bunch of papers and look frustrated.
Oh, well, I had the Bluetooth earpiece in, so I've always assisted. Oh, yeah. Speaking of, Commonwealth Bank of Australia, I want my money back, okay? Serious disappointment. I did the whole thing with your new Google Wear watch and got out... cardless cash even easier than I've previously done it. And then some lady thought I'd, left my card at the machine or something. Hey, you forgot your card. And I turned around and said, I don't use cards, ma'am. Then I turned around to walk away, and there was no explosion. I was not walking away from an explosion. It was very disappointing.
So the best line you could come up with for a James Bond style exit was, I don't use cards, ma'am.
Well, I can't...
Harry,
I can't think of anything else.
Something to do with magnetism? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, go on.
I don't know. I can't think of one either.
Harry, I think the more appropriate response would be just to walk away silently.
Yeah.
like the autistic king you are, just ignore her and like shoot straight past.
Yeah.
Screaming, something along the lines of ATMs don't need cards. ATMs don't need cards.
Hey, you forgot your card!
Yeah, I think that Harry, what actually happened is Harry's saying that this happened, but what actually happened was, hey, did you forget your card? And Harry's like, you're a card.
Or he was mugged by an old lady at the ATM.
Well, that's quite a conversation twist. I was mugged by an old lady. I better come up with a cool story about me not using a card in an ATM.
That's exactly what you would do.
Well, that's what I did with my the scar on my eyebrow.
Yeah?
I when it happened, I told everyone I got into a fight, like at the bar or whatever, and I actually just fell over in the bathroom and hit my head. But I told everyone I got into a fight with a shark.
Yeah, it seemed more manly, right?
Yeah, chainsaw shark. Yeah, skateboarding over
With laser beams.
floating helicopter.
Well, I'm pretty sure I've often told you guys that my sister stabbed me with a soldering iron that was on. And while there certainly was a soldering iron in her hand that was on, it was more a case of her kind of falling into me rather than, any deliberate means of malice.
I was going to say, in her defense, I think we all want to stab you with a soldering iron.
Yeah. I'll stab you with anything I see. I don't need a soldering iron. Just whatever's close to hand at the time. Stab. Finny, what have you lied about to seem cool? Anything?
If I did, I don't remember it.
Tucker?
What I was expecting was, my name's not actually Finny.
He's got some really shitty name like Egbert.
My name's Egbert.
No, you see, John, I'm a snowboarder, so I don't need to lie to be cool. It's a given fact.
You just have to lie down like every other snowboarder.
He just has to...
No, man, I just got to glide down the mountain.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I got to do.
Because that
Or
happens.
sit on your ass for 10 minutes, do your bindings up, get up, fall over in the middle of the run.
By the way, Harry, 2-month warning. I'm so going to fucking rustle your jimmies in New Zealand. You got no idea.
Yeah, but that's
Revenge will be
tradition
sweet. You backstabbing, tasering, motherfucker.
Why? What happened?
now. It's tradition now, really.
No, this guy, John. I can't trust Harry, not just in real life, but also in the digital world, mainly fucking, like, CSGO.
See, because in both CSGO and in real life, I will tase him in the back.
When did that happen in real life?
I know. Why, Tucker, why are you saying real life?
I can't trust you, man. Zero trust between us.
That's Tucker's story
Oh.
to seem cool. He
Oh,
thinks that
shit.
being tased is cool.
No, it's not being cool. It's fucking annoying.
Yeah, it's annoying. The one thing I could think of about being tased.
No, the worst thing was,
Oh
like,
my
Harry's...
god, this is so annoying.
No, like, in the game, Harry literally, like, stood behind me for, like, a good 5-10 seconds, didn't assist me with any kills. He goes, you know what? I'm gonna do it. Zap.
I gave you so much warning, too.
I'm sitting there covering long, and he like, you do nothing except stand behind my back and go, 3, 2, 1, wait till I got the kill, and then tase him in the back.
Yep.
You're back.
Hey, at least I waited that long. I cared that much.
Alright, what's going
My revenge in New Zealand will be swift and sweet.
I understand.
What's going on with you, Tucker?
So I'm browsing Reddit today, and so we've been using Netflix quite a while, John.
Yeah,
But you do the normal VPN solution, like you actually have a VPN in your house, right?
correct.
Yeah. I don't. I use Ola, the Chrome extension.
The botnet.
Yes. Apparently, according to Reddit, the 10 million strong botnet.
Yeah, it
So-
literally tells you this when you install it.
Yeah, I know. So everyone's like going off about it. I'm like, did anyone actually research the plugin before they installed it?
Everybody
to-
knows about that.
No, everyone's like, oh, free VPN, which means I can watch Netflix essentially Netflix from any part of the world. Or,
And
you know,
not just
access
Netflix,
to any...
BBC or iPlayer.
Yeah, yeah.
any of this.
It bypasses any sort of geolocking. And if you go through the actual, like, FAQ, they say, how can we make it free and all this kind of stuff. It's like, oh, well, essentially it's a peer-to-peer system where everyone's an endpoint. I'm like, okay, that's fine with me. However, if you, like, get their premium service, like $5 a month, then you're not an endpoint. And you get some extra bonuses to it. But I don't understand why everyone's still up in arms about this thing, freaking out. Especially that, I think it came from an 8chan post on Reddit. So, I don't know, like, what's your opinion? Like, did this phase you at all, surprise you, or do you think
Not at
everyone's
all.
like,
I mean, we all use torrents.
yeah,
You know, it's not the same thing exactly,
No,
of course,
it's
but it's
a similar idea. It's like-
effectively the same thing.
yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't. I'm getting a free service. Sure, they can use me as a botnet while Holler is on. If they used me as a botnet while Holler was off, that would be
that's more concerning. Yeah. But it's like that while it's on. So essentially, you have Chrome open and you're running Ola. Yes, you're going to be an endpoint. I'm like, yeah, I don't care because I'm also using it to
service for free. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, but they are saying that you can. I think it's like a charge of like $20 if you want to use the botnet. And I'm like, if I do notice it happening, I'm probably going to close the browser. So in the end, it's not going to affect me as much.
Yeah.
So I don't know, Harry or Finny, do you guys use Ola at all for anything? Nope.
They don't have Netflix.
Oh God,
BitTorrent.
Harry, get Netflix.
And then you don't have to torrent anything anymore.
Yeah.
Exactly, because you get it like legitimately.
And you can go to bed feeling good about yourself because you're paying.
Exactly. Exactly.
No, I still buy physical media, John. Now that helps me sleep at night.
Oh, why,
It really
Harry?
does.
Harry, you have fiber into your home, and you're still buying physical DVDs to watch anything on.
Yep.
Well, you can't even do that, right, Harry?
Fucking Callan has just entered. No, Callan's just entered the show notes. Quick,
I'm watching
the
him.
show notes before he says anything. No, Callan, please go.
Oh, that's harsh. Hey, I do actually have one actual tech-related news piece, and that is my dislike of being caught in the game between Google and Apple as far as Wear is concerned. So,
wait. What? Where does Google have?
it's called
John,
Google
I'm
Wear.
confused. Nah, I don't think it's a thing.
See, here's the thing. So, Google pumped all this stuff onto the market, hoping to, catch the market before the Apple Watch came out.
Oh, I see. So they grabbed all the shit, threw it at the wall, and nothing stuck. Nothing there.
No, that's not the problem. Okay, I enjoy my watch. It's actually quite a nice watch. I'm very happy with it. But
No, it's not.
the thing is, I thought it was so-so, and I thought it was going to stay so-so until, of course, the Apple Watch came out. Now, it turns out that Google had actually been holding out on a big-ass update. I'm talking about a serious Watch OS update, just in perfect time, so that, all the Google Wear users could go, you're just getting the device out, we've had the device, and now we're getting an update.
So all 10 of you have been waiting for this update to come out.
Very funny. But it annoys me because, on reflection, really, this update could have come earlier. It's just they were probably holding on to it just for the right timing. And I mean, I do love the update in itself. It's made my watch into actual wearable tech. But
so you're confirming before it wasn't?
Before it was like an extension of your phone, but less usable. Mm-hmm. You had to touch the screen to use the watch.
You had to touch the middle of the screen.
You're saying, you're talking about this big, fantastic update. And the thing that's changed is you can flick your wrist to scroll up and down.
Yes, that's
the big update?
That's the entire point of... Well, no, it's also visual. Like, the actual...
Is there any functionality update?
Yes, huge functionality update.
Was usability improved in any magnitude whatsoever?
So previously, it didn't have a contacts list.
Couldn't tell time.
I love the scenario that John just imagines for himself. It didn't tell time. He actually believes that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so you could say the OK Google call such and such, but you didn't just have a list of contacts that you could flick through, which is actually quite nice. And it just had the one menu with everything, settings, various applications that it installed itself, prompts for, set a timer or a, alarm or something. Now it's split into 3 different menus: your apps, your contacts, and actions, which is pretty cool.
Actions?
Actions are like settings, or restart your watch, or dim the screen, or whatever. Mm-hmm. Things like that. But yeah, no, the the wrist flick thing, which I did way overdo just to show off.
Because you were like, look how easy it is. And it was like,
An extremely over-exaggerated wrist flick.
yeah, I was like, wow, that is easier. Definitely easier.
Easier.
But yeah, no, you can do it a lot. It's uncanny, the difference between a fast wrist flick, which scrolls down, and a slow wrist flick that scrolls up, which is it's strange. Like I almost can't tell the difference between the two, but it seems to always get it right. If I'm going slow enough, because I intend for it to be a scroll up, not scroll down, it seems to get it right. And doing all of that without even having to use your right hand is the entire watch's principal functionality, which is to get all the notifications to you, which is cool.
Harry, so essentially the main update is the fact that if you rotate your wrist, it scrolls up and down for you, correct?
Correct.
Do I have to point
through
out
your
the
notifications
flaw in that? I mean, so when you turn the watch away from you, because I'm rotating my wrist right now, I can no longer see the watch face.
No. You flick it. So obviously at the end of the flick, it's facing you again.
So how do you tell it to stop?
Sorry?
How do you tell it to stop scrolling up? Flick it again?
No. It's like a page tab. So you flick it once, it goes to your next notification.
Oh, it goes a certain amount down. Or a certain amount.
Yes.
I see.
So, because there's only one thing it's trying to remind you. Like, so, Facebook will have one message for you, and then Calendar will tell you that there are 2 different things on. So there's 3 things that you can scroll between. Yeah.
So essentially, Harry, if I spam you for like a solid minute of just different posts and notifications, you're going to be like...
Everyone's going to keep jerking off your fucking watch.
All right, I'm going to summarize...
I could get through your spam very quickly and effortlessly.
By like spasming your arm for like a good 30 seconds.
Android wear's really great!
Well, you would have to do a lot more to get rid of all of mine.
No, I use my right hand and I go
just tap down slightly hard and it clears all my notifications. Done.
Harry, I'm going to summarize this in just one point. That's stupid.
Oh yeah, no, it's also got the new shake function.
It's dumb. No.
If you shake your wrist like flick left and flick
like
right, that clears all notifications.
Oh god. I appreciate the technology behind it. From a usability point of view, I think it's stupid.
I think it's
I can leave it there.
fantastic.
Sounds like a good way to get RSI.
My Pebble did.
Yeah, it's...
If you get RSI from kind of moving your wrist,
That's
like backwards
literally
and
what
forward.
RSI is.
is.
I must
Is that
say,
Harry-
it will go well with your G-Wank app.
But here's the question:
No,
how are you going
it
to tell
counts
what's G-Wank stuff and what's just scrolling notifications?
Hmm?
What are you going to tell what's just scrolling notifications?
Oh, you're asking how is my wonderful app in development going to work? Well, that would be an app that you activate, and so it takes control
See.
of the watch at
Can
that
you
time.
activate with voice?
Hmm?
Can you activate it with voice? And then can you
Google
tell it
word,
like
time to wank?
no, you can't. But the thing is, you have to like set it so it has a volume threshold. So you have to yell it. You have to yell, Google where activate wank mode.
Wow.
Exactly.
No.
See, that's why I don't record the podcast around my parents.
I can't imagine why they'd find that distressing.
Yeah. I'm still playing this to your parents, John.
Speaking of people playing things, so there's a new girl on the horizon, and she listens to this podcast, right? Yours did as well, actually.
Yes, indeed.
But this one's starting to go through all of them, and she started out like she texted me after episode 1 and made fun of me because because I'm on the left channel and you guys are on the right, and I had to fix that. And then she made fun of Tiger. She's like, "Who's the guy with the shitty bike?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's Tiger." And then she gets to the Star Wars episode, and I'm like, "Oh, what do you think of the Star Wars episode?" And then I go, "Hold on, actually, what's your favorite episode of Star Wars?" And she goes, "Well, I've only seen the new ones." And I'm like, "I'll let that go. All right, what's your favorite one of the 3?" She says, "I like the one with the boy and the princess." I'm like, and then she got angry at us for getting angry at Star Wars. Anyway, that leads me to a point about Star Wars, actually, which isn't even in the show notes. I was just thinking about it. So, I've got, a bunch of younger cousins and all that sort of thing. And we kind of take loving Star Wars as a given. You know what I mean? Like, of course everyone loves Star Wars. Star Wars is the best. It's the most awesome thing ever. But talking to some of these kids, they don't give a fuck about Star Wars. They don't know what it is. They don't care about it. They've never seen it, or if they have, they didn't like it when they did. So I'm thinking, is Star Wars like, the stuff your dad would make you do? Like, son, let's go fishing. And we're like, oh my god, I don't want to go fishing. He's like, yeah, come on, let's go fishing. And he's having a great time. He's like, come on, son, check out all these rods we can look at. Is that what Star Wars is going to be like for our kids? We're going to be like, guys, watch Star Wars. Look how awesome Star Wars is. And they're all like, we just want to play Minecraft.
Yes, that is exactly what it's going to be like.
Shit.
What? How can you say that about lightsabers?
Lightsabers aren't the best part of Star Wars.
Yes, they are.
No, definitely.
Yes, absolutely they are.
And, I mean, come on, they won't really be able to differentiate as much between the prequels and the original. And so they're going to be like, well, they got kind of cool in the beginning.
And then
they had the one dude that had like 6 or something, and the guy that double in, and then they just got boring, and then
and then hopefully the story goes, and then it got really cool again. But yeah, no, you're right. I think kids are going to look at Star Wars the same way I look at Star Trek, which is like, that's an old thing I don't want to bother watching.
Oh,
I know you like Star Trek, but
yeah. It is aged. I understand.
Anyway, that wasn't even my story. I don't know why I brought up Star Wars.
Hey, there's nothing wrong about talking about Star Wars, John.
Yeah, that's true.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, so Tucker,
Mm-hmm.
master of all trolls, king of rustling my jimmies. We both got our Apple Watches.
Yes, we did. We both got our Apple Watches in a timely manner.
Mm-hmm. A week early.
I know. I was quite happy with that, actually.
Very excited.
I was very surprised.
Now, first off, what watch face are you using?
Right now?
Yeah.
I don't.
You showed us the other day, or
No, so I'm using a different one.
Wait,
so let me have.
You have to pick.
what do
You can choose from multiple watch faces, Harry.
Force touch down on the thing, Tucker. I'll tell you the name of the one.
No. So I was using the modular one. However, I did switch over through all of them because I wanted to get a feel from all. But now I'm currently sticking to the utility.
Utility's nice. The utility seems to be one of the more popular ones.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Hold on.
What are you using?
I thought the whole sales point was that you could have a custom watch face.
Yeah, there
Apple
are.
said that.
There is, Harry.
That's why I'm flicking
we're
through
talking
the
about the
multiple
different
watch faces. You idiot. Oh my God.
I'm using
Okay, the way you're describing it makes it sound like there's a very finite number.
There is.
For now.
Customize them. There's like 10, and then you customize them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So wait, what are you using now?
I'm using chronograph.
Yeah. That's the other one I played around with.
Yeah, so the main reason I wanted it is because the top right is always a stopwatch, so I can just quickly hit a stopwatch if I want to time something.
What would you be timing?
Oh, like, quick, the chicken needs to be out of the oven in 25 minutes.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And,
Yeah.
I don't have to go open up a stopwatch or... Although, having said that, like, Siri is way better on the watch than it is on the phone. Have you been using it?
Absolutely.
I've been using it for fucking everything. Like, what Harry was saying about fucking wrist flicking being the primary interaction model, I think the primary interaction model for this watch is Siri. She does
definitely.
fucking... It's the best. I never touch this watch, pretty much. I just yell at it. Bonobo.
Hey, Siri. Yeah.
Hold on, I should clarify that statement. The flicking thing is the primary watch to me. The primary me input to watch would definitely be the OK Google function.
Point is, not touching it, right?
Yeah.
Yes, neither way am I touching it.
So, like, I use Siri on the phone for reminders and setting alarms, and, wake me up at 8:30 in the morning, that sort of thing. But I never really used it for, a call Tucker or, sent text Finney, you're a faggot. I've never really bothered. Yeah, but I never really bothered doing it on the phone. But for some reason, I mean, pulling out the phone and holding the phone to your face and all that sort of, it seems dumb. But now it's just literally just lift your wrist and talk. You don't even have to lift your wrist. So I really like it. I'm using it a lot.
Especially for driving. So I just have my phone in the center console area.
Mine's just in my pocket, yeah.
Yeah, and then I just on my wrist. So if I want to talk to you, I go, "Hey Siri, call John on his mobile," and it calls you straight away.
Or, hey Siri, tell Tucker I'll be there in a minute. Or I use the digital touch thing, right? And I just tap you or I send.
Oh shit! No, Siri, don't send that. it's trying to do it now. Like, oh no, stop, cancel.
I just pressed the crown. Have you done navigation yet?
No, I haven't done as much outdoor stuff as I want to at the moment, but I'm hoping this weekend I can kind of test it a bit more.
So I tested it today, driving from North Sydney and Monavale.
Yeah.
So I know the route, obviously, so I know whether this will be accurate or not. So I said, I just said, hey Siri, take me to Monavale.
Yeah.
And what it does is when it's time to turn left, it'll do the taptic engine 3 times, and then when it's time to turn right, it'll do it 12 times. So it's a very distinct feel from each other. So you just know whether to turn left or turn right. It'll tell you, 200 meters from your turn, that sort of thing. So you can look at your watch and see, turn right onto Monavale Road, but you don't have to look. You just wait for the taps.
But does she dictate?
She doesn't talk to you. I mean, you can make it do it from the phone, but it's better. I think it's better that way because you can just do walking directions. Well, you can do walking directions this way. If you're in the middle of the city and you're lost, you need to go to some place.
Yeah.
You just walk, and then when you feel 12 taps, you turn right. If you feel 3 taps, you turn left. It's a really cool feature and something I didn't realize it had.
Okay.
It was very worth checking out.
But so far, you can definitely confirm that this is like an excellent extension of the phone. Because so far, I use the watch for controlling volumes, like accessing apps, like quick notifications, that kind of stuff. And I think it's really good at it so far.
Yeah, I'm opening the phone way less than I was.
No, same here. And I'm definitely using the watch to do most of my stuff now. So if I want to do something in depth or like read an article or something, I'll go to the phone straight away. But for this, like sending text messages, send my heartbeat to you, which I do every day.
We've been doing it like 5 times a day.
Exactly. But just all the simple, quick stuff I'd normally flick my phone out for, I now just resort to the watch.
Yeah.
Just because it's a lot more, it's easier and convenient. So definitely.
How's the activity tracking been going for you? Because it has a heart rate monitor, accelerometers, pedometers in it.
Okay, so this is I don't expect much input from you, John, on this.
Hey now, I filled my circles today.
Oh my god, walking around the house.
Yeah, I did 300 calories.
Oh, good for you. Yeah. I'm very happy. No, I've been giving it a pretty good test through gym and general exercise. And so far, the watch is doing what I expect it to do, and the feeling just by wearing it is how I wanted it. When I go to the gym, you don't want to have a very heavy watch on your wrist. No. You don't want to smash it against stuff, and you're focusing on the weights and stuff. And what my current watch is doing is I don't feel it's there, which is what I want. So, but it's definitely I like doing a lot of weightlifting, all kind of stuff, and sweat a lot. No issue with this watch. So the band is really, really good for active people. So I don't know about you, John, but if I was to wear like a metal band and stuff and getting sweaty and sliding and shit, it doesn't feel good. However, now it's I'm dripping with sweat and everything, and it still feels comfortable.
Yeah, you can tell why they call this one the sport.
Yeah, so from a comfort level, just from that, it definitely is sports. So I have had no issue whatsoever. I mean, the only problem I do have at the gym is with my gloves. So I've got a wrist wrap around them. So I've got to take the watch off my left arm, put onto the right. Just because I don't want the crown.
Do you change your thing so it knows the difference?
No, I just chuck it over. No, I don't find that much difference anyway.
Okay.
So, but apart from that, it's I think the key they're trying to push forward is the apps. So all your sort of fitness-oriented apps.
To do things with the data, the watch
exactly.
is recording. Yeah.
And so far, I definitely use the fitness tracker a lot. So tracking how many calories have I done, have I walked enough, all that kind of exercise activities, which is great for the time being. However, I feel that it's currently focused towards going outdoors, going for a run, going for a ride, that kind of stuff.
Well, you don't use have you been using the actual fitness application?
No, not on the phone. So I've just been looking at
in the watch, not the circles.
Yeah, no, yes.
The circles.
No. Yeah, so you're going inside and you select what
you're
doing.
I'm doing an indoor run, for example.
Yeah. The only problem is there's nothing in there for particular gym workouts, or just
so you say other, and it'll start to learn what other means. Of course, it's not going to know what weightlifting is.
No, but I expect that later on in future updates that we might. I'm hoping.
How could they possibly know what weightlifting is?
No, because they're going to do really.
Guys, he's moving his arms slightly up
But
and
you
down.
you can give it a set of rules or general guidelines. If they're doing weightlifting, we can expect these sort of motions. I'm not going to ask for an exact thing. So go, he's definitely doing a deadlift, or he's definitely doing a high pull or a clean pull, all that kind of stuff. But I expect that, they can give you a generic kind of like workout idea.
I don't think
what I'm hoping.
the watch has that many sensors or that much information to work with that it would know that you're doing that.
But they're going to say
it's not going to happen, Tucker. How the fuck could they possibly do that?
Guys,
What?
speaking of fitness, I have a very important announcement. If you look at the chat window, here in Australia, Pizza Hut has just launched a 4 and 20 meat pie pizza. I think this thing needs to be ordered immediately.
I want this. What are this?
By us.
Pies are for fucking... No.
No. There's no passing. This weekend we should do this.
Right, well, good thing I'm not here this weekend. Enjoy, guys.
Well, I'm certain
that
they'll
is
be
the
passing out from it.
This is the most Australian thing.
Don't tell Callan. Fucking Pie Master Callan.
Oh, man.
No, I found, Tucker, that the active calories circle, the one used at movement, it will set, this is even for me, it set such a low default goal for me that I raised it after a couple of days. I've got little trouble filling it. I think I'm going to raise it again to 600 or 700. But the more I use it, the more I sort of appreciate Apple Watch's sort of its activity tracking features are really well designed for effectiveness. And encouragement, you know what I mean? Like, there are other activity trackers, like I've had the Fitbit and the Nike Fuel Band and all that sort of stuff.
We need an achievement list for our watches. Oh, there is.
There is. You get awards if you do shit. But the
You
thing
see
is that a
something-
watch face is the perfect place for an activity tracker. Like,
Yeah.
it's got physical access to your
Just-
biometrics, your motion. It's worn every day, typically.
Yeah.
It's checked regularly throughout the day, so your progress towards goals is, easily visible.
Yeah.
It's sort of satisfying if you meet it, but encouraging if not. I don't really want to spend any time awake without wearing the watch because I want all my activity to be counted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
While if I had a Fitbit, it's whatever, I'm not going to put it on. I'm just walking down to the shops. But with this, it's my watch, so it's on all the time. And speaking of all the time, how do you find battery life?
Okay, so I think most people are saying they get, 17 hours out of the watch, generally a day.
Yeah.
So I've been wearing this watch all day. I charged it last night, I put it on this morning, and then went to the gym. I've been using it all day, set my heartbeat to John, check time, go playing around with apps, getting a feel for it more, trying to find new things I haven't found yet, and playing around with it in general. And I'm currently at, I think it's somewhere in the 70% left. Let me check.
Well, I've been using... I did the navigation all the way, the GPS navigation, which obviously uses a lot.
60% battery remaining.
Yeah, so I went for a walk, and I used the outdoor walk tracking thing, and that turns all the sensors to a lot more sensitivity, so that uses a lot more battery. So I'm just checking now, 58% battery, and it's, 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So I won't have to charge this until tomorrow lunchtime. You know what I mean?
Well, even then, I think I'll get, just for my use, general exercise, going to the gym, seeing it at work, doing stuff. I think I can probably get almost 2 days out of it.
Yeah, I think Apple very much lowballed everybody, set everybody's expectations really low, and then oh shit, actually you can use it for 2 days and it's fine.
Yeah, it's just like the waterproof stuff. They're saying, it's water resistant.
Oh yeah, guys, it's water resistant, not waterproof. Be careful. And then some guy submerges it for 15 minutes completely underwater, and it's fine. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, I can understand why everyone initially was quite angry at the idea of having to charge yet another device, because a lot of people have a lot of frustrations with their phone and all that over battery. So I'm really glad that watches are not actually using up that much power. I mean, I didn't charge mine last night. I've used it for 2 days straight, and I'm on 20% battery. And it would probably last till tomorrow morning if I didn't charge it tonight.
It's interesting, right? When iPhones or when smartphones, the modern era of smartphones started coming out, and everyone was like, I'm never switching away from my Nokia or my BlackBerry. My BlackBerry gets a week, my Nokia gets 2 weeks, and you have to charge this iPhone every 2 days or every day or whatever it is. I'm never going to do it. But the thing is, everybody does it now. That's just the thing, because the device is good enough to warrant you wanting to charge it every night. So I was prepared to go, well, maybe the Apple Watch is good enough to make me want to charge it every night, but it's turned out that it's fine for 2 days.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the major increase in battery charge expense isn't so much that we're putting shittier batteries into phones or anything. It's just that phones, even smartphones, are becoming even more app intensive than they originally were. I mean, I don't know if you recall how many apps you used on the original iPhone, but
They didn't have apps.
There
was no app
firstly
store.
weren't really that many. Even just the inbuilt ones, you probably didn't use them all. Whereas I'm using my phone for everything. It's always doing something.
Well,
Playing
back
music,
then,
whatever.
the iPhone was a phone that did some other things.
Yeah.
And now a phone means a computer, and then every 5 years you'll make a phone call on it.
Yeah.
But the thing is that also the CPUs inside these things are getting more power hungry quicker than battery technology is advancing.
Yeah.
So that's why we still have, iPad 1 had 10 hours of battery life, iPad Air 2 has 10 hours of battery life.
Yeah.
There's like a thing that they've just met and tried to stay at,
Yeah. It's also most hardware developers or most developers that are creating an OS seem to be very conscious about app use of battery. I don't know how iOS does it, but Android, has the battery page that shows you which applications are using this much power, and you can set things like, if this application uses up more than 10% of your battery, kill it. Which is always nice.
Well, so in iOS, something like that's constantly running. As soon as you're not using an app anymore, it's not running. It's frozen, which is why, we have more RAM, technically. No, I mean, you need
More available RAM.
I like how that was completely not related.
No, I'm saying it's a similar thing because they have to freeze the state of the application in the RAM. And as soon as you open up the mail application again or whatever, it hasn't been running the whole time in the background using energy.
Yeah.
It's just back to where it was.
Yeah, I see.
So you're saying it just stays as state, and then when you want to relaunch
then
it,
every now and then it can do background processes and check stuff. But
yeah.
anyway, so just quickly though, Harry and Finney, start with you. So very briefly, you haven't used it to an extent, but you had a quick look at the Apple Watch on the weekend as well.
Yep.
What do you think of it?
Well, I'm not overly fond of the idea of smartwatches, but it seemed to me to be the best one I've seen so far, just in how it works. Because it seems to be that the simpler the way you use a watch, the better. So from what I've seen of Harry's, it's not that it's more complicated, it's just that I didn't like it, whereas the Apple Watch, I don't know, there was just something about it that I'd prefer.
And Harry?
Oh, but you haven't seen my wonderful update. Yeah, no, look, I'll have to, right off the bat, the Apple Watch is way better looking. They were really smart with that curved screen that makes it look like the screen is bigger. The screen is probably smaller than mine, but it doesn't matter. It looks bigger. And that's the important part. The downside, I'd have to say, is it's too flat. Not on the top, but on the bottom. Like, it doesn't sit on your wrist. Or even though it is sitting on your wrist, it looks like it's like a square that's been stuck onto your wrist.
I don't understand. No,
I don't
right.
understand.
Sorry, what do you mean? What do you mean?
Okay, so mine has like this tilted edge. It tilts down to where the band is. The Apple Watch doesn't have as much of an obvious one. The worst example would be the LG G Watch. If you look at any picture of a guy wearing that, it's really obvious just how far off the wrist it sits because the bottom of it is completely flat. It looks like someone has got a little packet of, I don't know, Smarties or something, something in a small square box and just put it on top of your wrist. And it doesn't look like it's hugging your wrist.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So the Apple Watch isn't anywhere near as bad as that, but I'm sure if we see a Gen 2 of this, it might hug the wrist a bit more.
Maybe, but I mean, watches in general are flat; they don't curve.
Yeah, well, not the watch itself, just the ends of it. You know what I'm saying?
On the screen, I don't know if I explained this to you the other day, Harry. I don't know if you knew this, Tucker, but it's an OLED screen. So
looks good.
The black. The reason that everything is mostly sort of black looking is because it doesn't take power to power black pixels. with a split screen. So that's probably contributing a lot to the battery life as well.
Yep. Actually, the dev guides state that you should use black as your default background.
Possible. Yeah.
Yep.
It'll be interesting after WWDC, which is next week or the week after. Next week.
Next week? Yeah.
Yeah, to see if the full SDK does come out and you can start actually having native apps run on the watch. If battery life starts to suffer because now the watch has to actually start doing work. With its CPU, which it isn't pretty much doing right now.
It'd be interesting to see if they actually do that. Because
they've said they are.
They are?
They've said mid this year it's coming. So I don't know if that means now, later on. But
it'll be good. I still think they might recommend you offload heavy processing to the phone, but maybe have the watch do the lighter stuff. So that's my guess. However, I'll be very interested to see the extensions they make to the SDK. So, yay, looking forward to it.
Well, in 2 weeks we'll tell you guys all about that. All right, well, let's move on to what we've been playing then. Finny, what have you been playing?
A rather stupid game called Zombies, Monsters, Robots.
Sounds like a pretty cool game to me, gotta say.
Well, it's a very basic premise. It's a third-person, over-the-shoulder, cover-based shooter. That's a mouthful and a half. It's a free-to-play developed by, I can't pronounce this, Yangpei Games. I think that's it. And it's published by En Masse Entertainment. It came out September of last year. As I said earlier, it's a third-person shooter. It's got player versus environment and PvP. Player versus environment is a co-op function. I don't quite know what the party limit is, but it wouldn't be too big, I'd imagine. Basically, it's sort of like Horde mode, but you're moving through different levels. As you start out a mission and you'll have to wipe out a research base full of robots, for instance, or a Chinese temple full of zombies was one of them. It's quite strange. And as you progress, it's quite an old style thing because it's extraordinarily linear, but that's not really a problem. As you progress through each level, the terrain changes slightly as you go through, just to give the illusion of being more varied. You end up fighting more enemies of different types of higher difficulty, and each level is divided into sections. The end of each section has a mini boss or two, and then at the end of the entire level, you go up against one big boss, which takes everyone to bring it down. It's the most blatant rip-off of Gears of War I've ever seen in my life. But do you remember the reloading minigame from Gears of War?
Yeah, how if you reload within you press the button again, right? Within a certain amount of time, you get a critical reload or something, more damage or something?
Yep, that's in there. And it works exactly the same way.
Well, that's cool. I mean, that's a cool mechanic. It should have been more. It's like when the Batman games came out. Everyone's like, "Why isn't every game like this?" Having that fighting system. It's the same thing, I guess. It's it's not steal stuff. It's fine.
Well, this isn't stealing. You would actually probably. I don't know if there is an agreement between these people and Epic. It is that much of a rip-off. It might as well be the same thing. In fact, it quite possibly could be the exact same thing.
What about it is super similar though, because Horde modes have been in games for years.
Well, no, I'm talking about the actual gameplay itself. It is literally Gears of War.
Okay.
As I said, the reloading minigame is exactly the same, even down to the way it works and the way it looks.
Cover-based shooting and blind firing.
All of it is exactly the same. It might as well be Gears of War with a different skin.
Wow. So just in time for Gears of War 7 or whatever to come out.
As rip-offs go, it's incredible. As you say, you can get your gun can jam during the reload, or you get a reload bonus, whatever it is. They have to have some sort of agreement with Epic because it's that much of a rip-off.
Wow.
In terms of how it works, you make a character. Harry, you'll be very disappointed the character creator is not that in depth. You can't spend 8 hours in it.
0 out of 10.
You'll have to go back to Korean MMOs for that.
When is Black Desert coming out?
I don't know. I'm still waiting.
So there is a character progression system where you level up. It's free to play, or actually this is blatantly pay to win as well. There's in-game money and real money called EMP. I don't know what that stands for in the game. So you buy gear...
Electromagnetic pulse.
Yeah, I don't know if that's what it means in the game.
It's totally what it means.
John, shut up.
I'm going to look it up. Keep going.
Okay.
I'm looking it up.
So you use that to buy new weapons.
On mass points.
That makes sense. Yeah, use that to buy weapons and armor. It's pay to win because it takes forever to earn anything. and everything is incredibly expensive. So it's also, a blatant pay to win, which is quite entertaining in its own way. There's also a mech mode, but the funny thing is you can fight as a mech, but you have to equip the mech, which means if you're an idiot, as one of my friends was, you can wind up in a mech battle as an infantryman. And you don't last long, and there's also segments where you kind of need to use jets to move around, so I don't know if that's there as a bug or just to punish people for being complacent. But it's actually quite funny when everyone runs away in their mechs and he's left running around in his stupid infantryman gear.
I've got a question. Why is it? How is it pay to win? Do you think?
Well, the easiest way, basically the weapons are better. So you buy better weapons. So you can pay real money to get better gear, go into battle and win.
I see.
It's obviously not complete pay to win, because there's probably some sort of legal issue with that.
Oh, well, hold on. Didn't you say it was cooperative?
It is, yeah, but there's also a PvP mode.
Oh, okay. And so okay, all right. I understand.
It's not good. I don't like the concept of free-to-play to begin with, but this is like one of the worst I've seen. To the point where it's quite funny.
And yet the game you've played most in the past 6 months has probably been Warframe.
Oh yeah, but that's probably one of the better.
Which is another cooperative horde mode-y.
Oh, it is horde mode the game, but in terms of free-to-play, it's probably still one of the best out there. Although it's gotten a lot more grindy of late. Anyway, there are no Oceania services, so when you play, you do have a ping of about 6,000. There's not a huge amount of variety, but you're not really there for that. This is the sort of game I think you play when you're bored and you don't know what else to play, because there is no thinking. It's literally rock up, shoot everything in sight, and desync from the server and get annihilated by everything because you can't hurt anything anymore.
Oh, like Harry playing Counter-Strike.
What?
It is fun. It's free to play, so there's no point getting angry about it. Don't take it seriously. Play with friends. Like, if you're playing with a bunch of people who are just a complete pack of idiots, you'll enjoy it, because you'll just end up to spend the whole time screaming at each other. Don't, for the love of God, spend money on it, because there is far better things out there to spend money on than this. But yeah, give it a shot. It's a free to play, so why not?
Oh, it sounds like something we might check out then.
I don't. My only last comment would be is that I don't see a huge lifespan in it, because there's not a massive room for expansion. But if people just want a dumb game like that, then there's nothing wrong with it. Well, there's plenty wrong with it, but it was fun.
Well, it sounds like it's a fun game that you don't have to pay money for.
Well, you don't have to pay money for it.
Sounds like a good deal for me.
Well, the ping was atrocious. Like, you'd desync and you'd end up shooting everyone and nothing would happen, and then you get murdered by 8 things at once.
Yeah, but Australians are, like, genetically bred to be able to deal with ping in online gaming by now, so we can deal with it. Speaking of, being terrible at video games and shooting things and never getting anywhere, Harry and Tucker, how has your CSGO experience been since the update?
Harry, do you want to take this one, or should I?
You go right ahead.
Alright, I'll start off. What the hell, man? Seriously, like...
Tell us
why
what it is
do I have
first.
to have
Tell us
two...
what it is
Okay,
first.
so one of the main features that you'll see straight out of the gate is the fact that there's an additional rank system alongside your competitive rank.
Mm-hmm.
So you have your competitive rank, which would be, Gold Nova or Silver Elite Master or whatever. And then you got your own private rank, which is like
rank, they call it.
profile rank, yeah. And it's just like the Battlefield one, so private, that kind of stuff. And
it's like in StarCraft too, right? It doesn't actually mean anything; it just ranks up your profile.
Yeah,
but
you can't rank down, can you? On that
no,
one?
you can't.
So
You just
it gives you a
just
reason
rank up.
It gives you a reason to
Bullshit.
hit next match.
No, it's
No.
stupid. It's the only rank that matters is your competitive rank. Whatever your profile rank is, no one cares.
I think a lot of people care because if I'm going into CS:GO, okay,
No, John,
I'm going to
no,
play match
no.
after match after match after match, and I don't see anything change. I want to see little things going. Oh, more experience.
Okay,
more
so
experience.
you casual peasant, you can enjoy that.
Yeah, guess what?
But
It's
from
casual
a
game.
competitive point of view, means nothing to me.
Yeah, but Tucker, you're not
John.
competitive. You're fucking Gold Nova something.
John, and dear listener, if you have a rank of, Silver 3 and your private rank is, Master Sergeant Shooter Person of Ultimate Extreme, then you should feel bad. It means you have played a lot of CSGO and you still haven't gotten any good.
Exactly. I said it is stupid. It's there to make you feel bad. Well, no, maybe that's a good thing.
It's there to make you feel good, Tucker. It's there to make you want to hit.
No. Just like Harry, I can't believe I'm agreeing with Harry, but just like he said, if you've got like super duper level 5,000 and more, and you go, wow, yeah, my private profile rank is awesome, and then you look at your competitive, and you're like, bronze 5.
Yeah, but it's not about comparing your profile rank to other people's profile.
No, but that's exactly what's going to happen.
Not at all about that.
It absolutely
Tucker,
is.
Okay, so StarCraft 2, right? I have my character, whatever, is level 90. Okay, that is the most you can get. It's level.
But John,
30,
it doesn't mean shit.
Exactly, it doesn't mean shit. But when
but
I'm playing the game, every time I kill something, I get XP. It makes me feel good. That's why it's there. That's why it's in Counter-Strike. It's to make people...
No, John, that's not what matters in fucking StarCraft.
It doesn't matter.
The only thing that matters in StarCraft is the ladder.
That's not what matters. I'm saying that's why they put it in there. To make people feel good.
But it's a waste of...
Not everyone's like you, who can just keep hitting next match for no reward. Just for the game.
No reward? John, I do it to rank up so I can surpass Harry.
People need a metagame. And
Harry, goddamn, I will surpass you. Mark my words. I know you're doing, Harry. You
to our final battle.
No, okay. Apart from being completely unfaked, you play that game whilst at work. And you play far more games than I do every day. I play 1, maybe 2 matches.
That's true.
Okay? But I will surpass you.
Listen,
you and your stupid P90 Dak strap. You do not change up whatsoever.
That's true. But look, I'm not saying... Look, what you guys get out of Counter-Strike is improving yourself. What most people get out of Counter-Strike is having fun.
We don't want those filthy casuals.
Yeah.
You didn't even play Counter-Strike a year ago,
John.
Harry.
Fun is bad.
Fun is such a...
No, I don't want to be in a competitive match with people who are not on the same level.
Good. You won't...
For example, like, I had to carry today, John. I had to carry something fierce.
It ranks you with your actual ranks, not your profile ranks.
No, it doesn't matter. I don't want to play with dum-dums.
My profile rank is Master Sergeant Shooter Person, and your profile rank is Master Sergeant Shooter Person, but I'm Silver and you're Gold. We're not going to be matched with each other.
No, but John, you want to be matched with me.
Well, John, let me give an example of how this game has actually, taken away from my experience. Because this change came through, and then it was actually a couple of days ago that this happened, right? And I'm at a very high competitive rank. So everyone else who was at a very high competitive rank saw the change and kept playing CSGO. I haven't had a chance to play that much lately. So my private rank is low. It's the beginner's starter, private, whatever it's called.
Yeah,
because of that, I'm getting put with other people who are not at my level.
I don't think that's the case.
No, it has to be. The same thing happened to me today.
No.
No joke. No joke. I think
look at the patch notes. It doesn't mention anything about there being a secondary matchmaking.
Well,
because Steam completely divulges all the information about their matchmaking.
Yeah,
John,
matchmaking is a mysterious
thing.
thing.
Actually, play Counter-Strike.
Yeah. Counter-Strike.
We don't,
Anyway,
so we'll defer to them on this.
Yeah, ever since that change has occurred, and maybe John, it is by coincidence, but I doubt it. Every single match has either been me carrying like an absolute mother tucker, or just sitting back in the corner and watching my team win, not having to do anything.
I don't think it could be the fact that there's suddenly 200,000 more people playing this week, and they're being matched against you. So
no, that's always a rank down scenario. During the Christmas sales was the worst time to play CSGO ever, because there were so many Smurf accounts. It was ridiculous. You do not want more people playing.
Did you know that Counter-Strike is now the most played game on Steam?
Yeah.
Over Dota.
Really?
It just passed Dota.
Oh, nice.
See, it's because I've stopped playing Dota recently because I've been so busy.
Yeah.
However, John, speaking of Dota, I think it's time for our weekly update on the international.
Wait, Tucker, where's our Apple Watches? Oh, wait, it's okay, don't worry.
Do you want to tell them the grand story of my Jimmy rustling whilst I look this up?
So, it's not even a grand story. Tucker rustled my Jimmys for like 3 weeks.
So good.
He was in control of the Apple Watch. Oh my god, it was bad. And then it arrived, and then he thought I walked up to North Sydney to grab it. Didn't. I drove. Did you hear that? I drove.
No, I call bullshit. No, you definitely walked up.
No, I didn't. I went.
There was sweat on your brow.
Yeah,
you walked up.
There was sweat because I walked from the parking garage.
No, you
Over
couldn't.
to
No,
you.
you can't. You had to have walked.
No, I didn't walk.
I know North Sydney too well. You had to have walked.
No, I didn't. You know where I parked?
Where?
I parked in that little alleyway near where Aldi and the Commonwealth Bank is.
No. I still think you walked.
Nope, I didn't.
You have to have walked.
I didn't.
Doesn't matter. I still rustled you.
Hughes Russells.
Not as much as you were, especially when you thought that I didn't receive it in the end. You're like, it's not here, is it?
Anyway, what's the Dota 2 compendium up to?
I'm having trouble trying to fucking find it.
Really? Why? Every time.
I know, of all people, and because I come to the international page. Oh, that's announcements.
Literally took me 2 seconds. I'm already looking at it.
No, I'm looking at the
$9.2 million.
Give me the URL. Sorry, the URI.
Just Google Dota 2 compendium.
I typed Dota 2 International.
Well,
Dota 2 compendium.
I think.
There we go.
$9
Well, I guess I have to buy one, John, to increase that. Buy compendium. $9.99.
Yeah.
Purchase.
Very good. Now we're gonna
I feel
wrap up. That's good, Tucker. We're gonna wrap up soon. I want to briefly talk about The Witcher 3, but talk about it more next time because maybe by then Harry will have played more.
Yeah.
How much have you played, Harry? Not much. Just the tutorial.
Too busy with Counter-Strike. I have spent so much time tweaking the graphics. I haven't even played the game. I haven't gotten out of the first room at the beginning of the game.
Anyway, well, we'll talk about.
John, you'll play it for 17 minutes and decide it's terrible.
We'll talk about it more next week. But all I can say is it's fucking awesome. Controls terribly, but other than that, it's an awesome game. If it wasn't for its controls, it would be game of the year. But it might still even be game of the year. Who knows?
So, John, confirm. Do you have to play Witcher 2 and then play Witcher 3?
No, you do not.
But should you?
No. It doesn't really matter. It's got nothing to do with each other.
Okay. Because I have Witcher 2, but I haven't played it yet.
Witcher 2 is good, but it's like, no. This game is already above where Witcher 2 was when it launched, and it's already above where Witcher 2 was with the Enhanced Edition.
Well, I mean, I didn't play the entirety of The Witcher 2. I did, however, get my hands on the correct save game, with the choices and all that.
Again,
I don't
it took
know if
me
that
2
makes
seconds to Google.
Yeah, but I had to find the exact right one. That was a bit more difficult. So, I don't know if that makes much of a difference, but
yeah, well, the thing is,
that is a feature, obviously I want it.
Yeah, well, the thing is, if you don't import a save, like Tucker, if you never play Witcher 2, you just go in. You play the game, you do the tutorial, you get to the first area, and then you sit down and get a haircut, and there's general sort of interviews who interrogates you, right?
Okay.
And he's just like, hey, what happened between person A and person B? And you're like, well, I went with person A. And he's like, all right, let me write that down. And you do that for like 2 minutes, and then your game world is set. If you just don't do anything, if you say don't simulate Witcher 2 save, at the beginning it's an option, it'll just set the canon state, the default state of the world for you.
Well, that's what you want, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but I played The Witcher 2, so I know who runs that sort of thing is. But for you, not playing Witcher 2, just go default. It's fine. It doesn't really matter much anyway.
I feel like I should play Witcher 2 and then play 3.
The thing is, it's more about the stuff inside Witcher 3 affecting Witcher 3 stuff. Like, really, the stuff from Witcher 2 does not really affect... It's like, Triss is angry at you or she's not angry at you. It's like not really a big deal. It's more stuff like if you save this person in a side quest in The Witcher 3, or if you burn someone's village down or something, then 45 hours later, ripple effects will have happened and the king will fucking chop off your hand because such and such. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many different levels. Anyway, I've played about 37, 38 hours of it, and it's looking like it's going to be a 100 to 150 hour playthrough of just the story and some side quests.
Oh, no. For that.
Yeah. No, but here's the thing. I usually hate side quests. Anytime someone in Skyrim comes up to me and is like, please, my farm, I need to protect my farm. Y'all bulg. I'm like, oh my god, I don't care about your fucking farm. But in this, like, that side quest will lead to a 20-hour chain of side quests which deeply affect the main story in the world. And they're all really well written and shit. I really like it. It's really cool. It's probably the best RPG I've played since... It's better than Knights of the Old Republic, which used to be my stand, like my top thing, or Planescape Torment or Baldur's Gate. This year has 2 of the best RPGs I've ever played, Pillars of Eternity and Witcher 3. And The Witcher 3 is like has fun action too, once you get used to the combat. Also, it's fucking gorgeous. Holy shit. Like, people are talking about this downgrade shit. Fuck that. It's a gorgeous looking game. It looks so good. And I have mid-range hardware and everything's on Ultra. So, I'm happy. Yeah, so 780 Ti, i5, 16 gigs of RAM, and that's it. That's all the components.
So we'll have to upgrade my GPU then.
You'll have to upgrade your GPU, yeah. I've heard reports of anyone under a 700 series having trouble.
I seem to be coping quite well. I do have SLI, that is true. Yeah. So you recall my major issue with Brothers, Tale of Two Sons?
Yes.
So I just thought it was so funny that my massive gripe with that game being about the grave that was too close to the edge of the cliff. And here I am playing The Witcher 2, just kind of catching myself up a bit before Witcher 3 happens. And there's an area where there is just dozens of graves right next to a really, really steep cliff. And like half of them are basically overhanging it.
Oh, dear.
Oh, my jimmies.
That's funny.
It was ridiculous. But I mean, that wasn't central to the story. So obviously I didn't really have a problem with it.
It wasn't central to the story in Brothers either.
What are you talking about? It was very central.
The grave could have been empty. Like, they could have been burnt up in a fire, the parents or something, and it wouldn't have mattered. Oh, spoilers for Brothers.
No, it would have mattered because even then the grave is there for remembering.
Who cares?
You're not going to remember it if it's fallen into the sea.
The game's called Brothers. It's about two brothers. Okay?
No, it's called Cliff Gravestone Management Simulator.
Harrison Leak's Gravestone Management Simulator by Harrison Leak's Harrison Leak. Story by Clive Barker.
Oh, shit.
Anyway. Alright, well, we'll talk more about The Witcher as the rest of these plebs play it, but until then, is there anything else from you guys? No? Okay.
Nope.
Well, I'd like to thank you all for joining us for Uninformed. Please subscribe to us on iTunes, watch us on YouTube, tweet us at Uninformed News, or email us at uninformedpodcast@gmail.com. I'm John Clark.
I'm Harrison Leak.
I'm Andrew Finn.
And I'm Matt Tucker.
And you've become uninformed.